50 games benchmarked. Today I will do a quick tutorial how to effectively use one of the most powerful overclocking tools, AMD Ryzen Master. At first, this tool might look complex, but I assure you it is rather simple, just have to spend some time with it. This is part 1 of 2-part series. In this part we will overclock, only CPU, memory overclock will be on second part, so, if you do not want to miss that, consider subscribing. Okay, it is time to start. Go to your BIOS, and set everything, related to CPU, to auto. Otherwise BIOS will override voltage, and peak voltage set in Ryzen Master will be ignored. Only setting you can leave, load line calibration. Ryzen Master does not offer LLC modes. Now, boot back into Windows. You open Ryzen Master first time, you will be greeted with basic layout. On the left side you have current CPU information, like, voltage, core speed and temperature. But on right, control mode. Auto OC enables slight overclock to your CPU, and, in manual mode, you can adjust frequency and voltage. For most of the time, you can extract very close to maximum performance just with this simple manual overclock. Down below there is Advanced View and Settings tab. In Settings tab you can just leave everything as it is, no need to change any of the settings. You are probably here, because you want to extract every last bit of performance from your Ryzen CPU, that is when, Advanced View comes into play. Suddenly, going from Pro Overclocker you are probably, what the hell is this? But worry not, we will go through each section. On the left side, there is Home View, and couple of predefined profiles. I would recommend to create your own profile, and rename to somewhat meaningful. When you are in your profile, on the right side, first section is Control Mode. We will use manual, but you can also use PBO. Just remember that PPT, TDC, EDC maximum values are still limited in BIOS. While we are here, I am going to explain what those three values mean. First, PPT, how much power can CPU consume? For 65-watt TDP processors, it is 88 watts, but for 105-watt TDP processors it is 142 watts. Second, TDC, maximum current, that can be delivered by a specific motherboard's voltage regulator configuration in thermally constrained scenarios. Third, EDC, maximum current, amps, that can be delivered by a specific motherboard's voltage regulator configuration in a peak condition for a short period of time. It is very important to remember that PBO only affects these three power limits. With manual overclock, these parameters does not matter. PBO will never boost CPU over its advertised boost clock. If you want that, you can choose auto overclocking section. Now, back to the manual overclock. Once manual overclock is selected, you can navigate to core selection. Expand CCD0 tab. There you can see all cores of your CPU. Yellow star means fastest core in your CPU, gray star means fastest core on slower CCX. Gray dots means second fastest cores in given CCX. Most beautiful part of manual overclock is, you can adjust speed of each CCX individually. That's, if you have disabled little red icon on the right side of CCD0. It should be red. To be honest, I am not sure what that icon's supposed to represent. Make sure you input same number for each core on single CCX, or else that core will run at base speed, in my case 3600 MHz. Of course gains will be much larger, more CCX you have. For example, if 3900X runs at 4.3 GHz, then maybe first and second CCX can run at 4.6 GHz. Next part is voltage control. This section is a bit confusing. If you leave frequency or voltage in manual or override mode, when in BIOS, then peak core voltage will be ignored. For example, I have set my voltage in BIOS to 1.325 volts, when I set peak core voltage to 1.2 volts, in hardware info, SVI2TFN, you can see, it is still 1.325 volts. Now, I have set voltage to auto in BIOS. When I change voltage from 1.325 to 1.28 it changes accordingly. I do not want to go lower, because 1.2 volts will probably crash the system with 4.4 GHz overclock. Last part is additional control. There you can disable or enable SMT. Probably only useful on high core count CPU, when you are 100% sure, extra threads is costing you performance. Otherwise I would just leave it enabled. Okay, that would be all in part 1. As we can see Ryzen Master, indeed, is rather powerful tool. But it still has some limitations. First, It cannot override BIOS voltage, if frequency and voltage is not set to auto. And second, it is not possible to change LLC mode. This I understand, is more of my wishes, and LLC mode implementation would require some collaboration with motherboard makers, but still would be nice if AMD engineers could pull this off. Other than that, this is great, simple overclocking tool. If you are interested to know how to use this tool to overclock your memory, consider subscribing so you do not miss on part 2. If you have any questions, please post them in comments section, I will answer to each and any question. Thanks for staying until the end, goodbye and stay safe.